What's going on YouTube? Boss Jacoby here, back again with another episode of Basic Training. This time, it's episode 7, Hanoi Capture the Flag, and I think that this is the best one to date. I'm definitely the most proud of it. I definitely spent the most time on it. I revamped the graphics as far as, overlays are concerned. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Hopefully you guys learn a little bit from it, and I'll talk to you all after the video. Peace. Hanoi Capture the Flag's basic map breakdown is essentially comprised of 3 alleys, with one of them split into 2 parts. So in red, on the left is Spotlight. On the top part of the screen in blue is Jungle. Next in green is Stage. And finally in yellow is Jail. The spawns on this map are very predictable, and therefore the team with the upper hand in this category will almost always win. So on your screen right now you see the word flag in green, and that represents the side of the map where you will defend that flag. The spawns on each overlay indicate your main and secondary spawns. So on this first side, your main spawn is located at Music. Let's take a closer look. Next, your secondary spawn is located on Spotlight side on the outside of the wall. Let's take a look. Moving on to the other side, you can see the flag sign moved, so these spawns are your spawns when you defend the flag located by well. On this side, your main spawn is located outside of Jail. Let's see an example. Next, your secondary spawn is in Arches. So for the nades for Capture the Flag on Hanoi, there really aren't too many objective-based nades, nor are there really pre-nades, but the ones that I could think of, this one is from Jail Spawn. And what you do is you just run out here kind of by A, search and destroy, heave a grenade up, and it bounces off the roof, bounces off another roof, and then lands right on the flag. So just in case the opponents are right about to cap it, that's a good nade. Here's another one on the other side. This is when you spawn bottom Music. Again, you run by A, search and destroy, and you just throw it, and it goes right through this tunnel and lands on the other flag. That's it for the nades. So, making its return in the series after a little time off, this segment will go over my preferred team setups and flag routes for this map in game mode. To start it off, this overlay shows a 3-man setup when you're defending the flag by bus. It's only 3 people instead of 4 because the 4th is the objective player who will be running the flag, and I'll go over the route in just a second. The first guy is highlighted in the red circle, and the reason there are 2 of them is because that player should drift back and forth between the 2 designated spots. However, his primary position should be in the B search and destroy area designated by the rightmost red circle. Let's take a look. Alright, the next guy, highlighted in the green circle, should patrol top theater and kind of watch jungle area. Let's take a look. The final guy, highlighted in the blue circle, should stay by the white car in our spawn and just watch the Jail spawn, which, as you guys know from earlier segment in this video, is the opponent's main spawn. So now that we were 3 spots down for this side of Hanoi Capture the Flag, let's take a look at an aerial view to see what each player watches. The first player, highlighted in the red circle, watches both Spotlight and Middle, with his primary focus being on the middle section of this map. The guy in top theater also watches Middle, and that's again his primary focus, but he also wants to make sure that nobody can go top theater by watching the stairs to his right. The third and final guy stays behind white car on the right part of your screen, highlighted with the blue circle, and just watches anybody, or any opponent rather, that spawns by their Jail, which of course is their main spawn. The objective player's suggested flag route for this side of Hanoi Capture the Flag is to run it all the way down Spotlight side, wrap around the corner, and eventually capture the opponent's flag. Although this is the slowest route, this is definitely the safest route, because if you were to run up the middle, you can be taken out by the opponent's secondary spawn at arches, and if you're to run by jail, of course you're running into the opponent's main spawn. Alright, so now that we've switched sides, let's take a look at the 3-man suggested setup. The first player, highlighted in the blue circle on the left part of your screen, is standing behind a concrete edge and watching the bottom of music, which of course is the opponent's main spawn. Let's take a look. The second player of this 3-man setup, highlighted in the green circle, patrols top theater. Let's take a look. The final guy in this 3-man setup, highlighted in the red circle on the far right section of your screen, stands behind guillotine and makes sure to watch Spotlight side. Alright, here we are back again with another aerial view. This time it's on the other side. The first player, highlighted in the blue circle, watches the opponent's main spawn at music. The second player, highlighted in green, watches middle, the area where enemies will funnel in from the 2 spawn points we talked about earlier. Finally, the last player, designated by a red circle, watches the opponent's secondary spawn on Spotlight side. The suggested flag route for this side of Hanoi Capture the Flag is for the objective player to run the flag top theater, down the stairs, across the jungle, and finally capture the flag by the well on the bottom portion of your screen. Alright guys, now that we've kind of learned quite a bit here on Hanoi Capture the Flag, it's time to put it into action. So here we go with a gameplay example of a flag route. This is not me playing, this is Kinged. But you see right there, he runs far right. This is where you want to run, down Spotlight side. He can either go to his left or go right up the middle, but pay attention to the minimap. If you notice, the 2 guys circled are his teammates, and they're both watching jail. Let's kind of cut to their point of view. Right there, he's not really watching the middle, nor is he. So King does the smart thing, coming up here on the right side, making sure that anyone up middle can't kill him. Right there, he throws a good stun. That was very smart. And if you pay attention, after I spawned, I actually watched the middle laying down right there, because I knew that that is probably where they're going to come from, since the other teammates were watching the other areas. So let's move on to the next example. Alright guys, so this next example is a little bit more lengthy, but I just wanted to show you how to kind of run a flag right when you spawn. So I spawned by jail. I know that the opponents are going to try and spawn trap us there. I picked off the first guy, picked off the second guy behind the yellow car, and I was going to move up for the flag. Doxa grabbed it. He died, but again, I know they're going to spawn music. I was able to, understand that, pick off the kill right there. And this is where you want to run it when you're grabbing flag by bus. You just want to run it top theater. And unfortunately right here you're going to see, I tried to jump onto jungle. I wasn't able to, but here we go. After I died, here's a free cam. King killed the guy that killed me. He picked up the flag. I respawned, cut the guys off from a search and destroy. There's another one, and then this eventually led to King being able to cap the flag. Alright guys, that about wraps it up for this episode 7 of Basic Training Hanoi Capture the Flag. Hope you guys enjoyed, hope you guys learned a little bit. If you did, make sure to subscribe, but I'm not going to leave you without one last little clip right here. So I want to show you guys what it looks like for a normal commentary, and then what it looks like for this commentary, because it's a huge difference. So right there, you'll see it on your screen. And it took me a while. Hope you guys, like I said, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to hit the like button. It really does help me out. And I'll talk to you all later. And peace.